Welcome. Today I bring you the preview of the next chapter of The Ambassador's Daughter. Distressed Moog asks Geddes why he is so calm knowing what happened the day before. Moog says the last time she saw him like this he stole the municipal money and gave it to Sanjar, and scared she asks him what he plans to do. Geddes just says he will do whatever Nair says since it's time for her to think things over. Meanwhile stressed Nair remembers Geddes' love confession. Sanjar goes to see her, saying he wanted to visit Melik before going to work. But Melik says she doesn't want to see him, since she already told him the conditions for forgive him. Nair asks about it, but Melik says it's a secret and leaves angry. Nair asks Sanjar what he wants to talk to her about. Sanjar replies that there is a custody trial that week and that his lawyer found a document from Switzerland. Nair seeing it remembers that while she was hospitalized Akin and Guven tried to take Melik away from her by taking out a document that she is an unstable woman and that she is not fit to take care of a baby. Nair worriedly looks at Sanjar and says that this document was made by Akin and asks him if he plans to use this paper to take away Melik's custody. Sanjar answers that he will use it if she still wants to go to Switzerland, so she is the one who decides if she stays or if they go to court, and he presents this document in court. But angry Nair says she doesn't plan to stay and they will see each other at the trial. So angry Sanjar says he has put more security at the mansion as he doesn't plan to let her leave, so he asks her not to try to escape, warning that even if they fight for the guardianship she must stay there. Geddes goes to Nair's house. There he realizes that Nair did not stay in that house, but returned to the mansion with Sanjar, so he angrily leaves. Sanjar goes to the olive trees to see Yaya. There they talk about Dudu. So Yaya assures that there is nothing between them and that Geddes threw her out of work to separate them. Sanjar gets upset. Yaya says that he knows that Geddes is in love with Nair. Sanjar asks him how he knows. But Yaya just says that everyone knows except Nair and that it must be because she is very naive and grew up abroad. Sanjar says that if he is the new CEO, his plan to separate Nair from Geddes Port won't work, and that he needs Nair to be the CEO. Although he can't give her the position yet as he needs her to be unemployed so the judge won't give custody to her. Then he talks about Karaman, saying they need someone else watching him. Yaya asks about Loki, but Sanjar says he can't trust him and they need to find someone else. Yaya agrees, so Sanjar says they must make a fuss, as Karaman must have them watched too, so they must pretend their relationship is ruined and fight in the mansion. Yaya asks when they will do it. Sanjar comments that Akin must have paid Karaman a lot to kidnap Nair, so they must act as soon as possible. Minek calls Karaman to warn him that he will leave with Loki in half an hour and that they can start the plan. When hanging up, Minek asks Nekdet not to reveal anything to Sanjar, since they will be free once they get rid of Loki. Nekdet answers that he will help her only this time since he doesn't want to lose the money that Sanjar is going to give him. He comments that he would also like to live in the mansion, so he asks if marrying Gulsier would make it. Sanjar arrives at Karaman's port. On his side, Karaman's spies inform him that Nair returned to the mansion, so Karaman is surprised that Minek didn't tell him about it. Sanjar arrives with him, so Karaman asks him why he went there. Sanjar replies that he thought Geddes was there, but Karaman says that Geddes has not returned. Sanjar says that he will wait for him next to him then. Karaman asks him about his women, saying that he hopes they get along well with each other, so Sanjar looks at him annoyed. Minek and Nekdet meet Loki and leave, while Rafika goes to meet Halise. Nekdet says goodbye to Loki and Minek, worried that everything will go well. Halise, upset, goes to see Rafika. Rafika tells her that it's not time to complain about what happened between them, as everything is about to get worse, as Geddes has fallen in love with Nair. Halise is shocked. While Elvan asks Gulsier to call Nair, Rafika tells Halise that Geddes revealed his feelings to Nair, so Halise asks what Nair said about it. Elvan says she obviously rejected him, so Halise asks if she knew. Elvan replies yes and scolds them, saying neither knew how to raise men as they are both a mess. Halise shuts her up and asks Rafika if she couldn't convince Geddes to give up that love, so Rafika asks if she's been able to stop Sanjar in all those years. So Halise laments about it and says if Sanjar finds out about it he's going to become a murderer, and complains that Nair is destroying her home but still can't get rid of her, so she doesn't know what to do. Nair comes in and says she knows what to do. She says she's not to blame for what Geddes or Sanjar do. But she doesn't want the families to feud over her, so she wants to find a solution. Halis asks her what she plans to do, so Nair says that week there is a trial for Melik's custody and that Sanjar is going to do everything he can to take her away from her to keep her close to him. So if they help her as witnesses in the trial, she will go to Switzerland immediately with Melik and the fight between Geddes and Sanjar will be meaningless. Furthermore, she tells Halis that if he helps her in custody, she will drop the charges for the attack she made on him with Nekdet. Halis fears being away from Melik, but Nair says she will let Melik stay with them for the summer as she doesn't want to leave her without a father, so she shouldn't worry about that. Halis then asks what they have to say in court. Nair replies that they must convince the judge that Melik can't stay at the mansion because of Manek. So Halis and Rafika agree to the deal. Rafika comments that she knows firsthand what a good mother Nair is. Then Halis comments that if she helps Nair, Sanjar will kick her out. But Elvan tells her that she will support her and that Sanjar will have to go with the traitor Yahya. At that moment they hear an argument and recognize Yahya's voice, so Elvan runs to see him. Yahya outside is fighting with the guards trying to force his way into the mansion, arguing that this is his house and they should let him in, while complaining that he is being kicked out while Nair is staying in his house. Halis complains to the guards for not letting Yahya in, but Hassan says they are just following Sanjar's orders. Elvan yells at Yahya that he is a traitor. But Yahya yells that he has not done anything they accuse him of. Elvan yells that Akin paid him to hurt Nair. Halis is shocked, but Yahya tells her that he did nothing. Hassan calls Sanjar to warn him about Yahya's arrival, so Sanjar in anger leaves, so Karaman follows him. Loki is driving with Manek. She complains about the pain in her belly. Loki tries to reassure her, but two cars block the road and take Loki away. Smiling, Manek asks Loki if he really thought she would escape with him. Loki tries to free himself but sees Karaman arriving. So enraged, Loki shouts to Manek that if he is not killed he will kill her. Karaman orders Loki to be taken away and tells Manek that now they can get rid of him. Then he sees her in pain, so he takes her to see a doctor, but Manek screams from the pain. Sanjar arrives at the mansion and pushes Yahya, who yells that this is his house. But Sanjar tells him that as soon as he betrayed him he lost his family and his house. Yahya yells at him, so Sanjar hits him. Halis stops Sanjar, begging him not to hurt his brother, but Sanjar says that Yahya is no longer his brother and orders his men to throw him out. Yahya yells at Sanjar that he will regret it when he finds out he is innocent, but Sanjar just throws him out. Zara takes Halis away. Sanjar approaches Nair and asks her if she is okay. She nods. Then Sanjar sees Elvan sad, so he asks her to come into the house. Geddes arrives at the mansion, so Sanjar asks Nair to leave. Geddes says he is going to talk to Nair first and then to Sanjar. Nair agrees, but Sanjar refuses. Nair asks him to trust her just once, but Sanjar says if she goes with Geddes she is going to get hurt. But Nair leaves with Geddes and asks him what she is doing there. Geddes asks her why she didn't go to her house. Nair says with what happened the day before she didn't want to stay with his people. Geddes tells her that now she is with Sanjar's people. Nair says she gave up on love a long time ago and just wants to go with her daughter. That's all she cares about, asks him to keep quiet until she goes to Switzerland. As that week is the trial and she is fighting with a man who is willing to do anything to keep her there. Geddes tells her then not to accept his love and forget the confession she made to him. But on the condition that she doesn't go to Switzerland he will help her get custody. Nair asks him how he will do that, so Geddes replies that he knows many secrets about Sanjar that if they were revealed in court he would immediately lose custody. Nair asks him if he will help her because it is her or because he wants to help a mother keep her daughter. She says she knows that if it wasn't for her he wouldn't be betraying Sanjar, and that's why she doesn't want his help, since she will get custody on her own and go to Switzerland. So she asks him not to make mistakes that he can't fix when she's not in the way. Geddes asks her if she is then determined to leave, so Nair nods. Then Geddes says he is losing her anyway. Nair says he only won her friendship and he has already lost her, so Geddes says then the game begins and leaves. Nair worriedly calls Geddes and follows him. Geddes goes to Sanjar, while Nair asks him not to do anything. Geddes tells Sanjar that from then on there is no more friendship or business between them and he accepts the enmity. Nair asks him not to do so, so Sanjar tells Geddes that he is his biggest loss after Nair and he accepts that loss. So the era of enmity begins. Everyone sees them all shocked. Nair asks them if they have gone mad and asks Sanjar not to. But he leaves. Nair asks Geddes to follow Sanjar. But he doesn't move. So Nair says then she will do it and goes after Sanjar. Geddes comments that he is not surprised and leaves. Meanwhile, Karaman takes Minek home with Seylan while he goes to get a doctor for her. Seylan asks Minek what's wrong. She says that her pregnancy is a bit complicated, so Seylan tells her that she is pregnant too and she doesn't want to tell Karaman yet. Minek congratulates her and goes in, where Akin helps her and tells her that she should be fine since they have a lot to do. Minek says that he will give her Melik, so Akin asks her if then she has decided to help him. Minek answers yes and that Nair is his. Minek starts to writhe more with pain and sees that she is bleeding. And so we end this preview, until next time.